What the Living Do by Marie Howe.
What the living do. Johnny, the kitchen sink has been clogged for days. Some utensil probably fell down there. And the Drano won't work, but smells dangerous. And the crusty dishes have piled up, waiting for the plumber I still haven't called. This is the everyday we spoke of. It's winter again. The sky is a deep, headstrong blue, and the sunlight pours through the open living room windows because the heat's on too high in here, and I can't turn it off. For weeks now, driving or dropping a bag of groceries in the street, the bag breaking, I've been thinking, this is what the living do. And yesterday, hurrying along those wobbly bricks in the Cambridge sidewalk, spilling my coffee down my wrist and sleeve, I thought it again, and again later when buying a hairbrush. This is it. Parking, slamming the car door shut in the cold, what you called that yearning, what you finally gave up. We want the spring to come and the winter to pass. We want whoever to call or not to call, a letter, a kiss. We want more and then more of it. But there are moments, walking, when I catch a glimpse of myself in the window glass, say the window of a corner video store, and I'm gripped by a cherishing so deep for my own blowing hair, chapped face, and unbuttoned coat that I'm speechless. I am living. I remember you.
Marie Howe's What the Living Do is written in non-rhyming couplets of uneven meters. The poem lacks allusions and metaphors. Instead, it relies on the relatable images of a typical day. Almost every other line is enjambed, and most contain caesuras. It is about how the everyday, ordinary acts that a person goes through become significant in the wake of the death of someone close. The first 6 stanzas list out the actions that one might go through on a typical day. These first 6 stanzas emphasize the things that go wrong throughout one's day: coffee spilling, sinks being clogged, hearing car doors slam. The final 2 stanzas move to be a more positive tone. The narrator finds the significance in the simple act of walking. The difference between the living and the not, that yearning, is seen when the narrator sees her own wind-chapped reflection in a store window.
It is clear when analyzing Marie Howe's What the Living Do that because of the influence of the confessional movement, as well as her use of word choice and tone, the poem goes beyond what is on the page. In Marie Howe's personal life, she lost her own brother, Johnny, and struggled with writing afterwards. When working on an anthology, Marie Howe said, "This might be the most difficult task for us in postmodern life, not to look away from what is actually happening, to put down the iPod and the email and the phone, to look long enough so that we can look through it, like a window." Through her writing, she attempts to look through what society is doing and discover what society should be doing. The beginning of the poem takes on a negative tone, which later moves towards a tone of acceptance. This negativity is shown through the use of words such as dangerous, waiting, can't, breaking, hurrying, and spilling. The shift of the poem occurs during the 6th stanza, beginning with the line, "What you finally gave up." Through this line, the bold statement of Johnny no longer being alive, she is accepting his death. She also understands what Johnny means when he refers to living as yearning. The following stanza lists out the things people want in life: calls, letters, kisses, and more. There is an acceptance that living is waiting, wanting, and the cherishing of the simple things in life, such as walking and catching your reflection in the store window. The poem is in the confessional movement of poetry, and the narrator is confessing to her brother, Johnny, that at first living, or rather that yearning, doesn't seem significant or even positive. The use of the confessional aids in connecting the author to the audience and the narrator to Johnny. The context of confessional poetry allows the reader to recognize that this poem is more than just a mere letter, but is Marie Howe coming to terms with her brother's death and accepting the fact that she is still alive. The daily activities that most take for granted continue to remind her that her brother is no longer living. After having someone close die, one begins to see the world and what people do through a new lens. Her brother's death sparked a new life in her, and without her feeling the powerful loss and recognizing that he could no longer do the commonplace activities, this new life would never have been created for her. Through context and analysis, the complexity of the poem that is hidden beneath what we would consider ordinary can be understood.